This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for December 5th, 2022. It's currently November 3rd, 2022, 7:29 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we have the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through a key support level. That's the overall trend direction and theme. When we look at the overview, which you can get, guys, by going to our website and signing up for the free newsletter, you get that in your email every month ahead of the month. But we have a notable decline. It'll really stand out on a 1 month chart, and it looks like we have a prominent low or trough again that stands out. Day's high or crest here early in the day, and then we fall pretty hard throughout the day. Behavior around the high for the day, we have sideways fluctuations with a bearish trend that precedes a rally, and then the behavior around the low price level, the day's price level at the low is going to be a good mean point to open up position in both directions utilizing option strategies. Meaning there'll be a higher price point and a notably higher price point and a notably lower price point in relation to the price level of the low for the day in near time proximity. Okay, so early in the day we have our day's low. Interesting. So it looks like we probably gapped down here, matter of fact. So we gapped down, and there's sideways rotation, period of sideways rotation in the pre-market with a sharp dip that'll stand out on a one-day chart. And that sharp dip will bring us to a recent past opportunity, it'll bring us to a support level that was a recent past opportunity. We could also say there's a bit of a rally right around the open, but it breaks down with a fast sudden move to the upside and then a decline through a diagonal trend line that it was rallying through. As it breaks down through that diagonal trend line, increases with volatility. And you can see we have the low here early in the day and volatility as it looks like we probably have a lower low on the 6th than we do today, but we looks like we probably have a higher point later in the day than low here. So sideways rotation after breaking down through that diagonal trend line, we hit a support level, rotate sideways probably at the same low that we saw in the pre-market, and then there's a big move to the upside pushing for distant resistance, roughly around like 10 to 11, from roughly 11 to 1 o'clock. We're bound by a range. It looks like we go from multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance from around the 11 to 12-ish to a bit of a drop, and we come up against the bottom of a range somewhere around like 1 o'clock-ish. There's a notable drop here, so it looks like a notable drop. Interesting. There's a notable drop in the early afternoon, so like 1 o'clock-ish, a little bit after 1 maybe. That decline takes us into an opportunity where we can open up a long position. Interesting. This right here has got to be a really big move. Really big move to the upside, because then we have this big move to the downside and we have a crest correlation. So there's likely like not a day's high at the end of the day, but like out of that decline there's probably a little bit of a move back to the upside and a crest that we sell from right around the close down to and through a support level, and then we do a U-shape reversal below that support level and come back and reuse it as support, doing some sideways crisscrossing back and forth through the same price level in the post market, and then the sneak preview for the following day, a lower low, like I said, sideways fluctuations, sideways fluidity, I should say, equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow moving along a support level is the sneak preview for the 6th. Guys, that's and we're advised to trade around an area where we're bumping up along resistance. It looks like probably that's right there. I mean, it's the trade opportunity, and we hit this distant resistance. So My sense is that I'd want to open up a short position um, when we hit that distant resistance level. I'd want to open up a put. And then at the low, I'd hold that put, but at the low, I would open up a call, and that way create a position in which I'm playing both sides of the market at that point. The put I would hold overnight along with the call, and we'll see what goes on in the next reading, my friends. Don't forget to follow that rule of karma. Super important, guys. I don't trade. This information is for others to use for whatever reason. Doesn't work out in my favor when I try to use it, so I refrain. And with that said, this channel really does need your support, my friends. When you make that money from this reading, remember that rule of karma, 5% forward, keep the flow going. Give it to somebody who doesn't even expect it. If you can get away with giving it to them and them not even knowing you gave it to them, that's an even better, what do you want to say, good deed. You know, and then 5% of that profit should come back to the channel, guys. We put out 905 videos in the last 365 days. 905. Right, all free. So please do the channel solid, help us to continue growing and moving forward, and make sure whatever you spend that money out, you spend it out of love, my friends. As long as you spend it out of love, the universe will send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one.